John asks here, can you speak about shadow work? I've been struggling with some blocks and blind spots for some years now and at a loss of what to do next. I've started looking into past life karma, but I don't know if I'm bypassing. Yeah. Well, shadow work is interesting because shadow work is the work to move through blocks and blind spots, right? And so for some, especially with this word blind spots that you're using here, it requires the support of another, right? Whether that's a therapist, for example, maybe, um, for example, some means to bring about an altered perception, psychedelics, meditation, right? Some way to get a different perspective on, what's really going on inside of our system, right? Therapy is great because you have somebody there who's able to kind of recognize your patterns and gently, in the right way at the right time, gets you to see it for yourself rather than pointing it out directly prematurely in a way that you may, um, not be able to accept easily, for example. Yeah. Journaling can help as well, writing. There are some shadow work prompts as well that you can answer the questions that you may find, um, to get you to go a little deeper, which in a sense is what therapy does, right? They ask questions to get you to go deeper. So there's some prompts online, and maybe if therapy is not accessible or um, not your thing right now, like there's some different ways that you can get into it. Um, as well, sometimes I think it was yeah, Kat is here on the call. She shared before that like um there is such a thing as shadow work for the body. Shadow work for the body. So the nervous system, the body, right? The body keeps the score. So sometimes it's not just about psychological work, introspection, journaling, et cetera, et cetera. It's also about like getting into this body because the body's got its own shadow, its own blind spots. We're holding on to things in places that we have been holding on for so long that we don't know that we're holding on, clinging. There's tension, right? There's tightness, right? So tapping into the body can help as well through different means, stretching, massage, yoga, exercise, right? Um, all these different ways to get into the body. This could be another avenue to explore. And when we get into the body, it can actually release things from the mind and vice versa as well. Something to keep in mind as well. So being mindful not to look at this process solely as a mind-based psychological thing. It's a full system thing. Yeah. And so, John, you're asking here, you're sharing that you've started looking to past life karma. You can look into it, and you may find something or the other, but the past life stuff tends to come up on its own through shadow work on this life on its own, right? So if you're interested in past life stuff and if there's some relevant content to be processed from previous lifetimes, it will come up when you're working on processing this lifetime stuff. It's a great line of inquiry. Thank you, John. Taze is asking here, isn't Kundalini a type of shadow work? I wanted to do shadow work at the beginning of my process, but I was guided to just let Kundalini flow. Yeah, so it seems like Kundalini will guide our inner work. Sometimes it will surface things from the shadow. It will bring us into those, like I said, altered states of consciousness so that we can see so that we can see our blind spots. But other times things sometimes get a little quiet. And what I found is that I refer to the Kundalini as she wants us to kind of do a little bit of work ourselves in an active way, wants us to kind of explore to help us to overcome any parts of us that are avoidant, right? So I think it's a bit of both. If you're having stuff coming up and you're not even trying to have stuff come up, you don't have to go out and start doing journal prompts and trying to get, massage therapists to bring up your trauma from the past. Like it's already coming up. Just face what's coming up. But if at times you're feeling stuck, things get a little quiet, you're feeling like you have to kind of get in there and start to participate in a bit more of an active way, well, then you can engage in some more active shadow work practices like I was talking about.